Hey, Fat Fish heads! It's time for another edition of the hottest new podcast on all platforms, Fat Fish. Sit back and strap yourself in for the wildest ride on the open seas. Now, flap your fins for the fabulous Fat Fish brothers, Eric Fish Snyder and Brad Grunny Grunberg, a.k.a. Snacks.
Thank you, Dave Linden. Love hearing his voice. How you doing, Fish?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Crazy weekend. Great football. And, God, I love sports, don't you?
Oh, God, this nuts. Later today, before we bring our guest on, I mean, we're dying here. We're both from LA, and the Dodgers, of course, just blew it again. 11th straight year, and I can't tell how many times they've lost in their first round of the playoffs. Should have been the Braves and the Dodgers playing later today, but guess what? It's the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. Does anyone give a shit about that?
I think they will, because they're both on a heater. They're both gelling at the same time. I think it's going to be a great series. What do you think?
I think so too. But the Phillies are just Bryce Harper, who's from Las Vegas, where I live right now. Yeah, is just something. What's he hitting? 481, and
what was the whole thing? What was the remember when he hit those home runs? He stared at the shortstop for Atlanta. What did he say about Bryce? I
guess he said he's a choke artist. The rest of the team were chokers. I lost in their first game. They couldn't hit. Well, Bryce Harper had 2 home runs, stared him down. His name is Arcia, is the name of the shortstop for the Braves. And he stared him down, gave him, I think you see a lot of that in basketball, a lot of trash talking in basketball and football. You don't see a lot in baseball because then guys get beamed. But I have I'll make you a prediction right now. I think it's going to be the Phillies and the Astros take on the Rangers and the ALCS later on this week. But
I think it's going to be Phillies and Texas. I think Texas is going to beat Houston. I really do. I think that's because they're playing great. But,
what you mean? You think the Texas is going to beat the Astros?
I do. I really do. They're really.
I hope you're right.
They got those great pitchers. I don't know. I just think Texas is, it's like, and on any given day, anybody can, do the impossible. And I think Texas is going to beat Houston. I really do. I love Dusty Baker, but I still think
just going to say that. So
like Bruce Baker, too. So.
Hey, we're going to be, we have beauty coming into our studio because they're looking at these two floundering faces all the time. It's ridiculous. No wonder why we do so good on audio.
I know.
Who do we got today, Brad?
Well, I'm really excited. Well, I'm really excited, Fish, because we're going to talk strip clubs today. We're going to talk the Hollywood Tropicana female hot oil and mud wrestling, where I worked for 14 years, and I had some of the greatest times of my life. And a lot of the great times started with this lovely lady that we're going to bring in. How about a nice hand for Maria Scherer, everybody? Yeah. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
Oh, my goodness. You look beautiful. Maria and I worked together. How many years did you work at the world famous Hollywood Tropicana?
Off and on for 2 years. But it was like at the height.
Right. You were there during the heyday of the Trop. And all the girls have costumes and stage names. You went by your real name, right, Maria?
You got to be honest, I don't remember. I was Alice in Wonderland, so I might have just been called Alice in Wonderland,
Yeah, maybe Alice. So that was her costume. So the girls came out in different costumes, and I introduced them, and they stripped down to their bikini, and then I would auction them off to the audience to wrestle in the oil or in the mud. And boy, you made some good money there, Maria, right? Back in the day?
Yeah. For working 1 hour a night,
I know. And Maria, okay, so Fish, here's the story. When the show started, it always started with the water show. And what the water show was the girl like Maria in her bikini and another girl in her bikini in the pit where the mud and oil happened, and we'd turn down the lights and play a very seductive song, and I would pick 2 guys from the audience with a pitcher of not beer but a pitcher of water, and they would put it on the lovely lady as they stretched, and they did different contours. Well, Maria made so much money because she was very limber, as I say. She could put her legs behind her head. Come on, Fish.
Maria, I have a question for you. In the essence of, if Brad is in charge of the ladies and he's in charge of the mud, did you guys keep a defibrillator back there? Because I don't know how this guy didn't have a heart attack with all you beautiful girls. I'm surprised. Because all he wanted was mouth to mouth, like Squints in the movie. What was the movie? Oh God, what was the movie with the kid when he went? See, this has happened when you work graveyard.
That's right.
The baseball movie. It took place in L.A. with Dennis Leary, but the kids.
Sandlot.
Sandlot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens. I shouldn't talk, Brad. You continue. I'm done. I had a rough one last night.
Brad knows all the pretty girls.
Well, I just did my job, as they say.
What a fun job you had.
I had the best job. It was unbelievable. And there were other MCs. There was Dennis Morgan. Yep. There was Garrett Atkins and Paul Greenwood. And then there was me, Johnny Cocktails. Let me tell you, Maria, did you remember this little spiel that I did? Let me give it to you. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah,
the bigger the bill, the bigger the thrill, the more money, the nicer the honey, the more greenery, the nicer the scenery. 7 nights a week, 365 days a year, the world famous Hollywood Tropicana. Fuck Disneyland. This is the happiest place on earth, motherfuckers. Drop the mic. That's embedded in my mind, embedded in my brain.
Oh my gosh.
He says that on every show, Maria, on every show.
No,
now,
I just thought it would be
you worked for 1 hour a night, and I live in a city of Las Vegas that is known for quite a many strip clubs, right? Mm-hmm. And we like to get some inner banner from you people, because you guys have to do your customer service is everything in our business, and you're into customer service. You have any celebrity stories?
So
any celebrities like hit on you, like Pauly Shore, David Spade, or all these guys back in
Brad
the day?
Grunberg?
No, I will tell you stories later on about you could never ever date the girls, the wrestlers or the waitresses, because the management would get jealous and they'd fire you. They're the only ones that, yes, right, Maria?
Wow. I didn't know that, but I always heard you weren't allowed to. But I didn't know you'd get fired. Wow.
Oh, no, absolutely. That's why, I picked my spots, and I'll tell you a great story later. By the way, how did you find the Tropicana? How did you get the job and all that? Do you remember?
No. Here, this is a good story. So I came from Louisville, Kentucky. I was a ballerina, very kind of conservative, but not really. But grew up in a ballet company, Catholic school, and I moved to LA and I needed a job. And my friend goes, "Oh, I saw this sign says dancers wanted. You should go audition." So I bring my little ballet stuff to go audition. I don't know what the Tropicana is. It says dancer. So I go into like the dressing room where all these girls are, and they're putting on their G-strings and their heels. And I brought tights and leotard, and they looked at me and they go, "What are you wearing?" And I thought, well, I didn't want to be not cool. So I was like, "Oh, I forgot my bathing suit, And the one girl goes, "Well, I have an extra one if you want to use that." And I didn't even have heels. And she goes, "I have these extra shoes too." So I'm borrowing some girls that I don't even know. Here's what I thought. I thought, LA's more hip. We haven't caught up to the new kind of leotards. These are in. So I still don't know what this place is. And she gives me these little heels, not cool heels. Like all the girls look really good. They had the cool bathing suits. She gave me her shit ones and the little. Anyways, so we get out there. They turn on like girls, or something like that, and all these girls start gyrating and all this. Now, as a ballet dancer, you don't do that. I've never learned how to move my hips or anything. And I looked at all of them. Everybody was doing, they were humping the floor and spinning around. And I was like, I didn't know how to dance like that. I heard later friends when I got, said, were you trying to tap dance or something? And I said, no, I just was trying to figure out how to move my hips. Like, I had no idea. So anyways, we go back into the dressing room, and one by one, the girls go in to see if they made it or not, right? And they were coming out going, yeah, I didn't have big enough boobs. Each one of them, I didn't make it. I didn't have big enough boobs. Well, listen, I'm a ballet dancer. I have no boobs. So I'm the last one. I'm mortified. I'm like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. So I'm the last person. Not one of those girls made it. And I go in and I go, I know. Thank you very much. I know I don't have any boobs. And they go, oh no, you're the only one that made it. And I'm like, what? Really? Okay. And they go, yeah, you can go down there, watch the show. You can work tomorrow. And I'm like, really? But I don't have boobs. And they said, well, yeah. I go, I don't understand why I got this. And they said, well, those girls were strippers. We are going for a different class. And I was like, okay, what kind of place is this? He goes, just go down and watch the show. You can work. So I went down there and I watched and I was like, oh, holy hell, I can't do this. Like, there's no way. But I needed to make my car insurance. So I thought I'll work for a week or something and just, do it. And I ended up, and my first night was why they needed people was my first night was when Charisse married Vince Neil and all the girls were going to her wedding and they needed people for that day. So my first day was what I think was like April 30th. 1987. Does that sound right? Or
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Like yeah. So
I know why Maria got the job. I'm going to quote the great actor Al Pacino. She had a great ass. Okay? I am telling you, Maria had the best tush.
Thank you.
And still does, by the way. Oh my God,
easy, Brad. We don't
innocent and
Brad,
sweet.
We don't have a defibrillator in your house. Relax a little bit, right?
I got paramedics standing by. I got Johnny Gage over here from Emergency. Randolph Mantooth ready to give me. All right, you all right? Okay, Randolph. Okay.
You look like you look like Mary Jane cheerleader, and you from Louisville. And you dated Lance Meadows, a star quarterback. I mean, you're the perfect stripper candidate because you don't have that, that crazy, nutty, trashy look. So I guarantee you made a lot of money, didn't you?
Yeah. And, you said you're in Vegas. I also worked in Vegas at the Olympic Gardens at a time, too.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh,
I know a couple bartenders there. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So because when I worked at the Tropicana, I was trying to wean out of the Tropicana. And somebody said, well, I have a waitressing job down at the, in Vegas. And I said, I need a waitressing job. I'm trying to get out of this mud wrestling thing. And so I said, will you take me down there? And she goes, sure. And then she had to fess up. She goes, I'm not really a waitress. I'm a stripper. And I said, okay, I still need a job. Can you take me down and help me? So I auditioned for that and made that too. So I did that for a couple of years too. So I have like
How did you learn to wrestle? I know the girls came in, they were like taught by like Shelly, Las Vegas Lana, who was like, she was there a long time before me. But how did you learn to wrestle? I mean,
really? Like, I guess all the girls were at that wedding. No one taught me how to wrestle. I mean, I was terrified. I was like, oh, okay. And the first person they put me with is Keisha.
Right. I was just going to say Keisha. It was tough.
Oh my God.
Like a badass.
Beat me up. And I was like scared, and then the next day I come in, the next day they put me with her again. And they don't usually do that. Right. And she hurt me again. And so I'm like, oh, and then the next night I was like, there I was with her again. And I said, And I did this. And I went with her long fingernails.
Yes.
And she went, I like you. And I thought, what? Like, I don't get that mentality, So I started sitting by her backstage to get ready for the shows all the time because I was scared of her. And I thought I better be friends with her so she doesn't hurt me.
That was a good move. By the way, the Tropicana was a club called Club Streamers. and Gary Hendrickson, who created the show, brought it to the Tropicana, and it ended up taking over for club streamers. His wife Robin worked there, and this was, this was the ultimate strip club. I mean, there were no real strip clubs back in the day. There was the Body Shop. By the way, Fish, when you lived in LA, did you go to any strip clubs? Did you ever come to the Tropicana?
Yes.
You did?
I did.
Okay. Was I the MC, or who was the MC? Do you remember? You have a great memory.
I would have remembered you. I don't know who the MC was, but I went there for a number of bachelor parties, probably 2 or 3 bachelor parties. Bachelor parties were held at the Tropicana. Yeah, you know that. So.
Yeah.
That was definitely, And no, it was the place to be. And when I got the job, I was the envy of all my friends. I was like a hot chick too, because all my buddies and all the producers and directors and all these people I knew from the 20th Century Fox Studios, where I was a waiter, they go, "Oh, you work at the Tropicana?" I go, "Yeah. Oh, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to put you in this movie and this TV show. If you take care of me, Of course, they never did, but no, some did. So I made some really great friends, from the customers to the wrestlers to, oh my God, security to, the management. The management was tough. The owner, Kenny McKenzie, he's still around. He's still the nicest guy. He gave me a job. Paul Bacard was his partner. He gave me the job. And the only reason I got the job is not because I was funny or I was a good auctioneer. And Fish will attest to this. They said, you have 4 Mondays. If the bar is up, you get the job. The bar is up. If bar is down, you don't get the job. I go, but I'm doing this and that. I'm funny. And then people are laughing. We don't care. We want to make profit. The bar is all profit. And guess what? The bar was up like 50% with me being the MC. And 14
I heard you got the job because for a big man, quoting the famous Al Pacino, you got a great ass.
You have a pretty good ass, let me tell you. No, oh God. So let me ask you, Maria, do you have any great stories about a customer? Did you have any regulars? That's what I want to know. Who came in to see you? Okay,
I did.
Tell me about a regular. Not me.
I did always work on Mondays with Brad.
Yes.
So I did work on Mondays. I know I had this one guy. I don't know if I'm allowed to say names.
No. Change the name. Call him Eric. How's that?
Eric used to come in all the time. And I feel like I made so much money off of him. That's how I got to get my apartment and all my, everything. Like, he came in, and anytime he was in, and he came in all the time. Do you know who I'm talking about, Brad?
No, I don't know who you're talking about. What did he do? I don't know who it is.
He ran. God, I'm afraid to say this too, guys. He ran a towing company for the city.
Oh, okay. I think I might remember this guy. Yes.
And he would tow gangsters' cars that might have drugs in them or something. And, he had to have surveillance, all around his place. And, it was kind of a.
Did he, of course, he liked you. He asked you out. Did you ever go out with him? Did you ever go out with a customer? That's a good question.
You know what? I had a boyfriend at the time. Okay. And so, no, I didn't, but I did hang out with him finally. Like, he asked me to do something with a whole bunch of other girls. And so we did, like, go see races or something. And then, we became more friends. I think he might have taken me and my boyfriend out for dinner. He was a nice guy, but even though I had a boyfriend, he'd still come in and he'd get his buddies or bachelor party, whatever. Yeah.
You know what he told me? He goes, I go, why Maria? Because she's got a great ass.
Okay. Oh my gosh. You know what? That's probably true, because I remember him saying stuff like that. So
you were blessed with a great tush. She's a ballerina, man. You know the dancer's body's Fish, right?
I'm looking at her, and she's a pretty girl, but you look exactly like the actress Naomi Watts. You ever get that?
Oh, no, you know what I get? But thank you. I get Meryl Streep.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes.
You're sexier. Meryl Streep, yeah, okay. Let me ask you about Louisville, Kentucky, which is a basketball hotbed.
Yes.
When you were in Louisville, did you have an inkling at all that you come out and start doing this? Are there any strip clubs in Louisville, or is it all basically bars and basketball parlors.
My dad was in radio, so he went to all those things. I mean, with the team, flew, he was into sports. I was into ballet. I know nothing about sports. My family knows everything about sports. So I have no idea if there's strip clubs in Louisville. I had no idea I would do this. I never would have auditioned for the Tropicana if I knew it was mud wrestling.
Oh my God.
I had no idea. And you know why I ended up staying there? Because I got my car insurance right away. Is they sent me on tour. Like a week into it, when I was going to quit, they're like, we're going to send you on tour. And guess where they sent me? To Louisville. And I said,
That's great.
A free ride home. I'm in. And when I came back, because we had no way to spend the money, I came back with so much money that's how I got to move up in the apartment arena. I was like, oh, we can get a good apartment. And then that's what hooked me in staying there, because now my rent's really high. And, so.
Were you religious? Or spiritual? You were, okay. So you were like a good girl growing up, but you were naughty. You like to be a little naughty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That. Did you go out with nice guys or bad boys? Was your boyfriend?
I like the bad boy look, but they have to be nice.
Oh, okay. Was he a rocker or was he?
I'm still with the same guy I was with then.
Oh my goodness, great! Really?
Well, there's 27 years we broke up, but the Tropicana, the Tropicana is kind of what broke us up, because for me to stay there, I actually had to do drugs and drink and all that. And he, even though he was the rocker bad boy guy, he wasn't into that, So anyways, so
that's wonderful. Oh, that's so you dated your boyfriend, you came to the Tropicana, 27 years go by and you reconnected and now you're back together. Wow. That's fantastic. I have an interesting story that I like to tell with Maria here. Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to call these two girls Tiffany and Felony, because I love some of these names the girls come up with. So Felony and Tiffany, okay, they went out one night. And I heard this story from Felony the next day. She goes, Johnny Cocktails, I got a story for you. I go, all right, Felony, tell me. She goes, we went out after the show with Axl Rose. I go, really? And this is at the height of Guns N' Roses, okay? Welcome to the jungle, baby, okay? So the show ends. They go out the back door. I saw them, and she tells me this story. So they went over to the Rainbow, which is legendary, after this is like maybe the show ended maybe 12:15, maybe 1 o'clock. Go over there. He had a limo waiting outside. The girls get in the limo. They go to the Rainbow. And then she goes, God, I don't remember anything until the next morning at his house in the Hollywood Hills. I go, really? So what happened? She goes, I woke up and I saw Tiffany going down on me and Axl Rose pleasuring himself while watching this. I go, wait a minute. Felony, you're telling me that Tiffany went down on you? Had you ever been with a woman before? She goes, no. I go, how did it feel? She goes, not too bad. That's a great story. So Axl Rose turned Felony, flipped her, and now she was, living in the lady pond. And I asked Tiffany, did that really happen? She goes, absolutely. That's what happened last night.
Living in the lady pond. Living in the lady pond.
I heard those stories backstage. Girls, when they were getting ready, people would talk. So I actually kind of think I know who you're talking about. But yes, I've heard.
I think you heard that story. By the way, I know you're straight, but did you have a lot of girls hit on you upstairs?
Well, not a lot, but there was this one girl.
Oh boy.
That when I went on tour, they put me with her because everybody knew she would do that. And then, we had to share a bed and she was like snuggled up. And I was like, I'm so innocent. I'm like, what is this girl doing? And then I was taking a shower and she jumped in the shower. I was like, what are you doing? Like, yeah. And you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I think I do know who you're talking
about. Talk about that.
Let's
well,
change.
I'm not as cool as those other girls.
Did she in the shower? Did she, did she, soap your back down and all that kind of stuff?
Always, even backstage at the Tropicana, all the girls would shower together. Like if it was like, if there was a bunch in the pit, they'd go back and share a shower.
Is she okay?
And she would be in there like, touch, just kind of like,
really,
yeah.
Excuse me, Maria. Brad, how did you, of all the stories you've told me, that breaking news that the girls showered together, how did you never not tell me that? And how did you not know that?
Oh, you might not have known that.
No, I always had respect for the girls. I never went into the locker room, but sometimes I had to. You know what I'm saying? And bullshit. And the girls would, come on, Johnny Cocktails, come in here. What do you want? And the girls would be showering like it's like, they're eating a sandwich, I saw girls in the showers all the time. I mean, and of course they're in love with Johnny Cocktails because I am every woman's dream, right?
No.
Who do you want? Fabio? What do you want, Marie? Fabio, Brad Pitt, or Johnny Cocktails?
Johnny Cocktails.
Oh, yes.
Yes. The fat
Maria,
guy.
you got to do us a favor. You've got to you got to send a headshot of yourself and send it to Brad, because I'm so sick of looking at all the deli owners and fast food restaurant managers on the back of his fucking head. You are just stand out. And I can tell people, look, Brad knows Naomi Watts, used to be a stripper. You have to do that for us, okay?
Okay.
Send him a headshot because it really lighten up your room, Brad. Brad, can you fix those? Those things are so off kilter. I feel like I'm in deli in Cantor's Deli.
Oh, okay. No, I have a great wall of pictures, don't I? No, I'll tell you something about Maria. She is as sweet as when I met her. She's the same. I mean, she looks fantastic, and she's just salt of the earth. I have to say that. You really are, Maria. And
what are you doing now, Maria? What do you do now for a trade?
Oh, I found a partner, and we are putting together an alternative health clinic.
Talk about that.
Yeah,
Talk about that. A complete opposite of mud wrestling.
What is that? What is alternative health? What is that?
Alternative health, kind of frequency based like business. So like a Rife machine. Have you ever heard of a Rife, Royal Rife, or a Tesla machine? And
who needs that? Who needs that? And maybe we'll make an appointment on Monday. Tuesday. That's today's Monday. His name is Eric Fish Snyder. I think he needs some frequency. Look at that face. Look at that punim. Ay, gavalt.
Why do I need that? Why would I need? In other words, I would love to hear about that literature-wise, because it sounds like it's cutting edge. But explain exactly what you're going to be doing with this. I'm a little.
I have confused. To say it's the wave of the future. I really do believe that, because if you think about it, your cell phone how do you get your calls? It's through a frequency. And you know what I mean? And it also is not that healthy of a frequency for you. And if you're on it too long, you feel a little wonky, you know what I mean? And so then there's healthier frequencies that you can put in your body or, through your field, and it will balance the bad frequencies.
Wow. What is your company called?
We're in the process. See, I had my own business, but now I want it out of my house. So we're in the middle of talking about everything. This could be a while. This is all in the, hey, just found the girl that has the money that wants to do it too. And, yeah.
I would let you, pump frequency into me, right, Fish?
Perfect.
I need a lot of frequency. Look at me. I'm a mess.
We also can scan your body and see what is off, and then put the right frequency in to balance it.
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in too. I'm a hot mess express. Look at me. I'm in. When you open those doors, I'm the first customer. Okay. Okay. That's very important. So I just want to, Maria, so there was Gary Hendrickson, who created the show, but then there was Bill Huddick, who was the manager. Remember Bill?
Yeah.
Bill was also a referee, but Bill, he was the manager upstairs. He made the schedule, the wrestling. He wrote down, you're going to wrestle Keisha, and you're going to wrestle Felony. He made all that, and he handled all the girls. and we're going to have him on the show to tell some stories. Wow. Bill has some stories. Yeah, he sent me to Vail, Colorado for a private party with Randy and 2 other girls. It was just the 4 of us. Oh my God, I'll never forget that. Come on in. After they wrestled and all that, they were in the shower. They go, Johnny, come on in, take off your clothes. Let's go. I go, wait, what? It's my clothes. And all of a sudden, I think about my bar mitzvah. But man, I had the best time. Tropicana. I mean, I learned so much about so many things. And I have to say, a lot of these beautiful girls, they were so beautiful on the outside, but they were so damaged on the inside. But not Maria. She was you. No, come on. You were so sweet. I mean, 2 years you worked there on and off, right?
I know.
Do you remember your last day at the Trop? Do you remember your last day?
Not really, because I kept thinking it was going to be my last day, and then I couldn't find a real job, you know what I mean, that paid that much money. And then I would go back with, and then I'd be like, I have a love-hate, because really, I'm so glad I worked there. It was at the height. I learned so much. I'm still friends with a lot of the girls. We also went to the Columbia, South America with the Tropicana.
Really? You went to Columbia, South America for a show? Wow. What was that?
That was scary because it was in the 80s.
Oh, the cartel.
And oh my God. I mean, the audience was like 4 people. The pit was as large as a room. And the 4 people that are in there had suitcases with giant guns on top of them. And I'm just like, this is a little scary. And then my roommate was Darcy. I probably should have changed her name.
Oh, yeah. Darcy's. Oh, she's the best. Darcy. She didn't make it.
I'm really good friends with Darcy now. And we got in a fight. We laugh about this now. And she's like, I don't remember this. And I go, well, I do. Because she was like, we get there and I bring one little bag. She brings like all these bags and she's like, will you help me? I'm like, no, I brought one bag so I could handle my suitcases. And so that started, she's like, what? You won't help me. I should have probably helped her, but I didn't. And my roommates, and then we get in the pit and I'm I'm supposed to be wrestling her. And she just went bam, bam, bam in my stomach. And I wasn't expecting it because we've wrestled many times. She's never hurt me. And it knocked the wind out of me. I was like, oh my gosh. And so anyways, make a long story short, we were checking out of the hotel and she used to smoke cigarettes and apparently she dropped her cigarette or something and it burnt a little hole in the carpet of a little cigarette burn. And we go to check out and they're like, your bill's going to be like $1,500. And we're like, why? And they're like, somebody burnt a hole in the, the rug. And I'm like, well, I don't smoke. It wasn't me. And so it was her. And
wow.
She had to pay that.
Let me tell you something, Maria. You said that the 4 people and there were guns on top of the suitcase. Guess what they were protecting inside the suitcase? Columbia, South America in the 80s?
Yeah. Cocaine.
Yale.
It was super duper sketchy. We got ripped off our money. It was
no way.
With the flight over there, everybody in the entire plane had black hair, but us Tropicana girls, we were all blondes.
Wow.
And the stewardess wouldn't wait on us. They wouldn't give us our food. They just would cross. It was weird. Everything was weird about that whole trip.
By the way, I know what was in those suitcases. Booger sugar, baby.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
And I know one of the guys' names, Tony Montana.
Yeah, probably.
Scarface, baby. No, but that must have been scary. But what an experience. Oh, my goodness.
What a story. Wow.
Oh, that's great. Oh, God. Maria, you are the best. I tell you got to come back on the show and tell some more of these amazing stories. And you're going to have a podcast soon. And I think I'm going to be your first guest.
Yes, you are, because you have great stories.
Oh, boy, do I have so many. And when we say goodbye to you, I'm going to tell Fish an amazing story about me getting some action during the show from a customer.
What?
Oh, you want me to tell it right now? You want to hear it?
Okay. Now, wait, I want to start. How much did you pay that customer?
It was my night. Let me put it this way, Fish. I have no idea what happened, but this is how it went down. So the Tropicana was like a shell of what it used to be at the end, right? My 14th year. And I'd show up and there would be like a couple customers there. But all of a sudden, these 7, 8 girls walk in for this girl's birthday party. And I would say 7 of them were gay. Okay. They like your pretty girls, right? But one of them was the hottest of the bunch. Okay. Some of them look butch, some of them look this way, but this one was hot. So of course I'm the master of ceremonies. I want to make sure they have a good time for the birthday. So I'm putting money behind the birthday girl, and the girls are dancing for her. And I was taking. Oh, by the way, Tropicana had a photographer. Remember, take pictures. I became the only licensed photographer with my Polaroid camera. So I was taking free pictures, giving it to her. So they're having a great time. They're yelling, screaming, and the hot girl, I go, "Are you having a good time?" The music was really loud. She goes, "Yeah, thank you so much." I go, "What do you like to do?" She goes, "I like sucking on fat cocks." I said, "What?" She repeated it. Okay. So then I'm like, oh boy. So then I walk over to the girls about 20 minutes later. I go, "Anybody want a tour of the Tropicana?" It never was upstairs. It was always downstairs. And they go, me. I go, "Oh, I can only take one at a time." So I took the hot girl. I take her downstairs to where you perform. And we're walking around, and I'm showing her this is the pit. This is the DJ booth. Then we go into that little annexed area, that little the extra area, like maybe you went through like a passage where they put like they had a storage locker for the beer and the wine and all that. So I'm showing her that, and then all of a sudden I turn around, she's looking at me with those goo eyes. Like, I go, "You don't want any more tours?" She goes, "No." I go, "Do you want to suck on a fat cock?" She goes, "Yes." Next thing I know, my pants are at my ankles. And she's on her knees, and all of a sudden I go, "Oh my God." So I back into the storage locker and I lock it, and we're in there fooling around, having a good time. And then all of a sudden I go, "Oh my God, the manager's going to be looking for me." And remember, I had a cordless mic. So I was still running the show when I was getting, pleasure by this girl.
Oh my God.
The hottest girl. I don't even know why. I keep looking down at her. I'm going, "Why are you doing this to me?" I go, "All right, maybe I'm a good guy." So all of a sudden I go, "Uh-oh." So we finish up. I go, "We got to finish up." We finish up. I come out of the storage locker. My manager goes, "Where you been? I've been looking for you." I go, "Oh, I was just showing this girl around. She's giving her a tour." He goes, "Get upstairs." I go, "Yes, sir." And that was my story. I got a little action from a customer at the Tropicana.
Risque, man.
Never seen the smallest penis. She goes, "That is the smallest penis I've ever seen." I go, "Yeah, that's me."
There's an addendum to this. I mean, that we bring this girl. You have to listen to that. The visual of that is absolutely horrifying. Number one. Number two, you got to finish the story. There were 7 girls and a guy dressed as a girl. Which one do you think went down on Brad? Okay. That's how this thing ends. For filming a movie. And why would you tell that in front of this nice girl from Louisville, Kentucky? What's wrong with you?
Totally transparent. We talk about life, and we talk the truth, not like you with your life.
I would never tell that story on my podcast. Never, ever.
Guess what? I just did on my podcast. Okay. And by the way, the girl you're talking about, I had no idea she had a penis. I'm telling you. So I just let her finish. Yeah, no. She didn't have a penis, but it was unbelievable, and I never forget that story. And I tried to date her. I got her number, and I took her out one time, and I remember like dropping her off, and she looked at me like, "What did I do with you?" Like,
wait a minute, Brad. Someone's chiming in. His name is Horst. He's from Munich, West Germany, and he's a grief therapist. So after looking at your whatever, oh God, I can't imagine.
Are you okay? Maria, I just want to thank you so much for being on the show. You're the best, and we're gonna do this again. And I can't wait for your podcast. Okay.
Very soon.
And say hello to your boyfriend. I know him. And say hello to your daughter, your beautiful daughter, Christina. Okay.
I will. Thank you, guys.
Nice meeting you.
Love you. Thank you. Maria Scherer.
Sorry to apologize for Brad. And
Alice in Wonderland at the world famous Hollywood Tropicana. Yeah, baby.
Hey, Maria, just remember this, honey. At the end of the day, you talk to the beauty and the beast.
That is true. That's the only thing you said that was true today. That's true. Oh, my God. How's that, Betty? Wow.
I can't believe you told that story. What's wrong with you?
Listen to me something. Let me explain something to you. What did we talk about 32 shows ago? Honesty, transparency. People, I mean, I hope people wanted to hear that story because everybody asked me, did you ever go out with the girls? Did you ever get any action? There's a story. I got some action from a customer.
Did that incident? Did it shape you as a man? Did you mature from it? What did you learn from that incident other than how fucking lucky am I? Because that doesn't happen to a guy like you. No offense. I love you. You're family to me. But that doesn't happen to a guy like me. And I'm good looking.
Yeah, you are good. And you have a great ass, right?
I do. I have a great ass. She's absolutely adorable. She doesn't she look the kind of girl that was the fun, good-looking girl that hung out and talked to geeks like you and me. And then, but you did date the foot. There's a movie like that, Lucas. With Charlie Sheen. Exactly. She's like that kind of girl that hangs out with guys like us, but she dates a football star, and you just knew when you went to your high school reunion, your 30th reunion, she was still cool. Am I right?
Absolutely. And also, she's the girl next door who is a little naughty and works at the Tropicana. Excuse me. Isn't that cool? I mean, Maria is beautiful. Like, she's a Catholic girl growing up in Kentucky. And all of a sudden she moves to Hollywood and starts working at a strip club. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's movies about that. You're a screenwriter. You and your great writing partner, Sean White, you guys have done great stuff. That's, it's a screenplay if she does that and then something else comes of it. Now it looks like she's got a new career. I know a lot of strippers. When I first moved to my neighborhood, I said, who's this broad down the street? Drop dead gorgeous in her 30s. She's driving a Rolls Royce. And then she worked at a place called Cheetahs, and she's making $400,000 a year. And it's a tremendous amount of money these girls make, and it's a great living. Back then in the 80s, you weren't taxed on it. They tax tips now, so I can only imagine what their tax appropriation is, but on their tips. But it's still a very I think it's a great profession because they're the ultimate actresses. They have to act like they like you for you to put $1 and $5 and $20 and get them in the back room. Let me ask you this about the Hollywood Tropicana that we did not get with, because you would know this, that we didn't get to talk to Maria about, Brad. Was there a back room? I've been to bachelor parties there. Was there back rooms where the girls could, for $500, you get them for a private session?
There was no VIP room. No, it was all in that big. It was all in that whole area. But guys would go into I knew some guys who came in every night that they would go in into the deep dark corners, where the security couldn't see them, and they do and pay the girl to do naughty things. Trust me, I walked by some stuff. I was like, oh no. I go,
you talk about me all the time, working in one of the hottest nightclubs in LA for 12 years, but your Hollywood Tropicana stories far outweigh the celebrities and people that I saw. I just saw people in their element, drinking and having a good time. I partied with a few of them. I got into the Playboy Club, because of and Hefner's Mansion, the Playboy Mansion and stuff like that. But you, my God, I mean, what you saw every night, and for a guy like you, that you're the fun guy in high school. You're the guy that hey, Brad makes everyone laugh. And trust me, when you go to your reunions, you have to tell these stories because they don't see that part of the Brad Grunberg.
Well, I have to tell you, it was one of the greatest times of my life. But by the way, the nightclub that you worked out and you and your uncle started, it was Mom's Saloon in Brentwood. So for our audience who just found us, it was a great place. I was there; it was unbelievable. But the Tropicana was special in so many ways because you would have. This is the thing: you would have Billy Idol, right? You would have John Landis. You'd have celebrities. You'd have like an IBM executive, a Wall Street guy. Then you have like Charles Manson. You know what I'm saying? It was
I mean, a laugh
of everyone.
What a segue. IBM executive Charles Manson.
I mean, a guy just out of LA County Jail. I mean, you would have, and by the way, we were freeway close. When you get out of LA County Jail on the 101, you go right up to Hollywood, and Tropicana was right off and Western. 1250 Western Avenue, Hollywood, California. That's where it is. And it's still, by the way, the building is still there. But it was like great. Every night I look, oh my God, look who's there. Look at that guy. Oh, I know that guy. But everybody's a voyeur, Fish. You know that. People like to watch different things. People came from around the world just to see the Tropicana. Because, by the way, there's no other place like it in the world. And, I have a TV show that Sean and I are working on, kind of like Glow, but like set in mud wrestling and oil wrestling.
Let me ask you this: of all the girls that you worked with, or just by word of mouth and things that you hear, have there been any actresses that are working now today that we might know that started out that place? Because everyone gets discovered.
Yeah.
I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer got discovered in a supermarket.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is walking down the street. You hear all these stories about, especially in the old Schwab's. Which was a place back in the 40s and 50s that actresses got discovered at. But did anyone work at the Hollywood Tropicana
I'm going to give you,
could think of that you heard that made it as an actress or?
Well, here's the story, Fish. Here's the story. So this one girl starts working the Trop, and all of a sudden she comes out of the locker room. Her name is Victoria, and I go, Victoria, how you doing? What are you doing? She was in a beautiful business suit and a briefcase. I go, what do you do? She goes, oh, I work at one of the big 8 firms. I'm an accountant. I go, wait. You're an accountant and you work here? She goes, yeah, my life was so boring that I wanted to do something different. So she started working at the Tropicana. Well, then she started doing a little nude modeling, okay, on the side, okay? And then I didn't see her for a while, and then she showed up one day. I go, what's going on? She goes, I got into porn. She became a big porno star, Victoria Paris. Look her up. And she started at the Tropicana, but she was an accountant in Westwood at a big 8 firm. So from accountant to porno star with Tropicana somewhere in the middle. That's pretty cool, right?
That's an interesting segue. So, you brought up, Maria brought up the 80s, and I found a meme, and I know I'm gonna show you something right here, and I'm gonna pick out 3 products that I use, and now deodorants are so easy to apply on, and with the and there's so many ways to. There you go. Don't call me. Check this out.
Yeah.
High Karate, Fruit, God. Old Spice. Amazing. Remember, how many of those did you have?
That's buddy, let me tell you, High Karate was in my act. I always said you go upstairs, you splash on a little High Karate, you come down and wrestle the girl. It was great. Can you answer the phone, please?
No, I
know. What's going on? Who's calling you?
Don't they know what's funny? It's my buddy Craig Persky. I said, do not. Damn it. I want to kill you.
I love it. Oh my God.
I'm doing a podcast. Don't call me.
There you go. Unbelievable. That's perfect. Oh my God. How is Craig doing? He likes our show?
He's pissed off. He loves our show. And he's, great segue to that is that he's, the SAG negotiations broke off, and he's ready to do a show. And now the writers have settled, and now it looks like the actors, which you're part of, there's a little bit of a schism there, and this is going to carry on the next year. Unfortunately, we're already mid-October, and the bottom line is AI, and we're talking about that earlier today. Him and I on the phone
and residuals on streaming. These CEOs, they think we're stupid, and we don't. We want to share in the profits. Okay. You're gonna run me 1 million times on Netflix, and I don't get to see any of that love.
Well, the bigger problem is they want to use Brad Grunberg. You have to give you have to sign up on your likeness, because they could put you in another Curb Your Enthusiasm, and AI just put your face on a fat guy, and it looks really good, and that person's falling through the roof. They don't have to pay you, just a part of your likeness. I was watching something on CNN about it, and it was just very strange how the studios are trying to fuck you guys big time.
Oh, absolutely.
If the writers could settle, I thought, educate. We like to get people up to date on the writers and the actors, because you're one of them, and you're driving a lift because of this bullshit going on. I thought when the writers settled, you guys were writing afterwards, and now it looks like it's going to be a continuance for a while.
Well, what's happening is And I love the negotiation committee. That the people in there are fantastic, because we're going high. We're going to go here, and then we're going to settle for something a little lower. But you have the thing that is the sticking point now is we ask for part of the subscription that people pay for the streaming, right. And they went crazy. I mean, Iger and all those merry men went nuts. No, what are you talking about? Yeah, I mean, I said, so they went high. So we'll regroup, we'll come back, and we're going to get something close to what the writers settled on. That's what's going to happen. Okay, but now all these guys walk away from the table, who's got the biggest dick in the room, and then they go away and they talk, and then they'll come back. We'll come back to the table, and there'll be a settlement, because listen, you have the writers, you need the actors, right? Yeah. I mean, they're losing millions and millions and millions of dollars, Fish. It's unbelievable. They're so stupid. A bunch of morons.
And unfortunately, I mean, what ABC is doing is they're putting Monday Night Football is indigenous to ESPN. Now it's on ABC on Mondays. College football is indigenous to ESPN and CBS Sports Network, and now CBS and NBC are putting college football games, Notre Dame, on prime time. So they're supplementing, and people love football. And they're going to do the same thing with the NBA when it starts next month. The NBA is going to go on prime time. So they're finding ways to supplement your favorite show by putting sports on. But the bottom line is we need you acting again in original, creative stuff that's written now for human beings. I want to get back to this for a second because the phone threw me off. I'm pissed off. So you look at the Blue Stratos. I use that. Brute, Old Spice.
Did you?
I remember dating a girl. Deodorant, roll on. You can take the Lumi. You put one finger in a cream. Put one dab on your underarm, and it lasts you for 24 hours. When we were kids, we had something called Right Guard, which is a spray. Remember the spray? Yeah. And you sprayed it on your pits.
Yes.
It stunk. It smelled like if you put Drano into an aerosol spray. That's what it smelled like. They had Lady Drano. It's the same fucking thing. I was making out with this girl one time. Like, oh my God, she just like that. Because if you put too much on, it could suffocate you. So where am I going with this? You're better off right now with all the deodorant you have, people. You're smelling a lot better than we did in the 80s. Plus, we didn't shave our armpits. We didn't manscape back then. So we had these big, hairy armpits. Some of Brad's girlfriends did too. So you put that with the spray on, forget it. You're fucked.
Well, Fish, let me tell you, a good segue. You're talking about smell, okay? You told me a fantastic story about a woman that you dated that did not smell too good downstairs. She kind of smelled like sushi. Could you tell us that story? Maybe change.
No. Oh, yeah, because she watches this podcast. She knows who she is.
Oh, who cares?
And it's from 1983.
Why don't you
it happened? I'll tell you a story. I'm hunting.
Let's call her misdemeanor. Let's call
this girl down. And I can't. I don't want to be indiscreet. I would not ever tell your name. Her name is Lisa. And every single actor, everyone that was important, including George Carl, hitting this girl, and for some reason she wanted to go out with me, but I had to court this girl. Now remember, this is 1984. I'm 24 years old, and I always say this: I have a mind of an infant now. Imagine what my maturity level was back then. I take this girl. We go to Fellini. We go to all these nightclubs. We go to Table of Sixes on top of Sunset. For 3 months, I wine and dine this girl, and finally she's gonna cook me dinner in her parents' house in the Hollywood Hills. Beautiful dinner. Well, it comes down to the act. We get naked. I'm kissing her around her torso, and I smell something. Right? I figure, okay, well, she made garlic in the chicken. Maybe that's that.
Oh God, no.
And we get in a position where we're compromise each other, and it's not good. So I don't want to blow the moment, and I actually have a dose of maturity, and I say, why don't we take this into the shower? And she looks at me and she goes, oh, you know what? I'm au natural. Just take it.
Oh, she knew. She smelled it too.
So I didn't take it, and it just, you know what? I don't care who you are. You have to have hygiene. Okay. I'm gonna change subjects here. I had to show you the sports wise. I had to show you. People say what it's like, Fish. You're the biggest Raider fan on the planet. Speaking about stinking, and I got a meme showing what the Raider fans are like in Vegas and in Oakland.
Yeah, right. I love it.
Games in Vegas, Bradley Grunberg, a.k.a. Johnny Cocktail Snacks. That's it. You're a lone wolf. Games in Oakland, man. If you're the other team, that looks like I was a Redskin fan back then. You're done. They're throwing you onto the field.
They're gangsters in Oakland. In Vegas, it's a whole different crowd. Yeah.
Well, let's go back. So I want to clarify the women. Women have to deal with our smells too, And I'm sure there's been times when a woman's in that compromising position with their mouth on a guy at the Hollywood Tropicana, and it didn't smell so good. Okay, and
I smell great down there, buddy.
I doubt it.
Let
me tell you something, Brad. With your diet, come on. With your diet of Carl's Jr., Jack in the Box, Chick-fil-A, borscht, chopped liver, okay, it goes to your system. Your body. We get Maria back on. She's doing all kinds of energy stuff and doing frequencies. The frequency of your smell, if you took what your body smells like at the worst moment and bottled it, you could kill the coronavirus. We never have this fucking thing going around.
You went to the coronavirus with that joke? Not good.
What's wrong with that joke?
It's not good. It was really good until you went to the coronavirus. People died from that.
People died of it, but I made a thing like your smell could have killed it. You could have
my smell.
Like
I smell good.
Ingest it.
You take a 5-minute military shower. That bullshit. I'm in there 20 minutes scrubbing and making sure that
I got an issue with that.
Smells good.
What are you doing for 20 minutes in a fucking shower? I put the soap on. How many times can you wash your balls and your feet? For 20 minutes? How much water are you wasting?
What are you doing? What are you doing for 5 minutes? You need to take a shower.
I do have to do. I wash my hair. I get everything done in 2 minutes that you do in 20.
I don't believe that. I'd love to watch you. I don't want to watch you in the shower.
Yes, you do.
You take a 5-minute military shower. That's bullshit, man.
You do want to watch me in the shower. You know why? I got a great ass.
You do. Buddy, this thing is getting better and better every show. Are you having a good time?
No. I'm sick about this story you told the Hollywood Tropicana that there's 7 girls and a guy goes. Your first time someone goes down on you, you're working, you almost get caught. It's a guy. That guy right now is in a straitjacket.
Hold everything.
You're
changing the story. No. I told the truth from beginning to end. Now you're trying to tell me it was a chick. Not happening, buddy.
Hey, buddy, real quick. This happened over the weekend. The Nick Pasquale Foundation to the show said, hey, can you help us out? We're doing a golf tournament for this Nick Pasquale Foundation. It happened Saturday down in Bella Colina in San Clemente. What this foundation does, because this kid died, unfortunately, his parents raise money to give scholarships for kids to go to college that don't have the means to do it. And they raised a lot of money, and we're happy to be a part of it, Brad and I, to shout it out.
God bless you, Nick. I know you're watching.
Rest in peace, brother.
Miss you, buddy. We miss you. That's wonderful, man. That is wonderful. That's a good way to end the show, Sure. So it was very successful. It was a very successful event. Fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, it was. Am I having a good time with this show? I'm having a phenomenal time. I mean, this logo that you made up, it to me, the best thing about this show is I'm having fun and I'm being real. And this thing is loose cannon. And we talk about things like smells and undersmells, stuff that I never did before. And I love it. And I love the fact that our audience is building on the audio side. We might have to get the AI part of what you guys are striking about to make you look better. If we could put maybe Jake Gyllenhaal's face on you, then we're good. Then we're in.
I'm not a bad-looking guy.
You're good looking. You're a good-looking guy.
My birthday.
You're the lovable. You're the lovable. You're the guy that every girl wants to marry that can't get married and meet a guy. You're that kind of guy.
But
get us out of here, buddy.
All right, buddy. First of all, do me a favor. Don't have your fucking friends call us during the podcast. Number 1, and number 2, 32 is in the books, baby. And Dave Linden, my man, take us home.
You've been listening to the Fat Fish Podcast, heard on all your favorite platforms. Until next time.